Hi, I'm Anna and this is Flash TV. Happy 2024, everyone. I'm so excited to be announcing new programs and services that align with the goals of the Council on Aging team. We hope to make this year the healthiest and happiest yet and can't wait to see you all around the Center for Active Living. We'll be kicking off this month with Intro to Meditation with local health and wellness guru Terry Walsh. This 45-minute presentation, followed by a guided 15-minute meditation practice, will introduce participants to the benefits of meditation and mindfulness. Held at the CFAL on January 3rd, you won't want to miss this opportunity to start the new year off on the right foot. As I mentioned before, the COA staff is dedicated to making this year the healthiest and happiest for our community. Starting January 9th, we are proud to offer yoga classes every Tuesday at the Center for Active Living. There will be both chair yoga and gentle flow sessions offered. Call to register and find out more today. The Coffee With program welcomes the one and only Mark Van Bork of the Chatham TV this month. On Wednesday, January 17th at 9 a.m., come to the CFAL for coffee, breakfast refreshments, and a conversation with the town media coordinator. Find out how the media department operates, recent changes to our local cable network, and get the inside scoop on this show, Flash TV. It's with great excitement that I announce the return of the Artful Living program. January 30th marks the beginning of the Wellness Warriors series. This 6-week series will explore wellness tools for maintaining a healthy and active lifestyle. Presenters like Kevin Lowy, Jenny Wood, John Rosario, and more will share about topics including brain health, balance, nutrition, homeopathy, and stress reduction. Call to register today. Our Golden Oldie series with Barbara Nickerson continues in January, highlighting some fabulous classic films. On Tuesday, January 9th, we'll be showing Belle, Book and Candle, a 1958 rom-com featuring Kim Nowak as a modern-day witch. This film was the inspiration for the TV series Bewitched. Then, on January 23rd, come to the CFAL to watch and discuss Mildred Pierce, the melodrama featuring an Oscar-winning performance from star Joan Crawford, a hardworking mother who inches towards disaster as she struggles through a divorce and the restaurant industry. For those of you viewers who celebrate a January birthday, join us on January 18th for the Friends of the Council on Aging birthday luncheon. Enjoy sandwiches, singing, and sweets. Call today to register. I'm thrilled to announce we are adding a second cooking class to the January calendar. Chef Heather Bailey will be at the CFAL Wednesday, January 17th and 24th to lead a group in making a delicious and nutritious meal. This January, we are focusing on health and wellness around the Center for Active Living, especially mental health as the winter settles in. Join the public health nurse from the VNA of Cape Cod for an informative presentation reviewing details of seasonal affective disorder, followed by an opportunity for a free confidential depression screening. You will be connected to local resources that can help while also learning tools that may help at home. The VNA will also be offering an in-depth explanation of vital signs, how they're monitored, what do they represent, and what do they say about your overall health. Come find out on January 4th from 11 to 12 at the CFAL. This month, our book club will be reading The Reading List by Sarah Nisha Adams. Thanks to the Friends of the COA, there are available copies at the CFAL. Book club meets January 10th at 11 a.m. The LGBTQ+ group has some exciting opportunities this month. Thursday, January 11th from 2 to 3, join the group for a sound healing session at the CFAL. And Thursday, January 25th from 2 to 4, there will be a documentary showing. Please contact Jessica Rogers, Outreach Coordinator, for more information. Building closures this month are as follows. In observance of New Year's, the Center for Active Living will be closed on Monday, January 1st. And in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the Center for Active Living will be closed on Monday, January 15th. I'm so excited for this next segment of Flash TV. It's time for Aging Voices, Stories of Service and Community. Each month, I'll have a chance to sit down with Chatham community members and hear their stories. Now, please join me in welcoming Carl Richards. Thanks for being with me this morning, Carl.
My pleasure.
How are you today?
Not too bad for an old guy. I'm delighted to be here. At my age, I'm just delighted to be.
Oh, well, I'm excited to have you here. I have a couple of easy questions, I hope.
Shoot.
We were chatting earlier just kind of about why we know each other, so I was thinking maybe you could kind of talk to us a little bit about how you got involved in the Chatham COA and just like your life in Chatham in general, maybe some background info.
Sure, glad to. Well, I've been on Cape since 2000, almost 25 years, and we came for vacations before that. And like many other people, fell in love and decided this is it. This is where we want to be. So we bought property and started building a house, and then I suffered a stroke. I'm originally from New Jersey and had a business down there, but I was taken out overnight with a severe stroke, and actually was very, very lucky to survive. So when I got back on my feet, I realized I couldn't go back to work. It was just too much for me. So we said, well, we'll move to Cape Cod now. So we moved up here, and here we are, almost 25 years later. Yeah. My wife has passed away, and so I'm alone now. But we had 15 real, beautiful, good years here on the beach and so on.
What did you guys like to do?
Nothing spectacular. Just I like to garden, and we love to drive out to the lighthouse and just commune with nature there and watch the world go by. It was wonderful. Just for the record, I'm not leaving Cape Cod unless it's feet first. I love it here, like many other people.
Where were you living in New Jersey?
I was born and raised in northern New Jersey in a town called Riverdale, which is near Pompton Lakes, Butler, for those of you who are familiar with that area. And my family was in the funeral service line of work down there for 200 years now. And my first love was always the arts, music and art, and I thought I was going to be an artist. Went to college, studied that. And one day it dawned on me that even though I had a little bit of talent, it wasn't really of the kind that was going to make a career in the arts easy.
I don't know, your drawings are pretty impressive.
Well, thank you, dear, thank you. So my father said to me one summer when I didn't have a job, summer job for college, he said, well, why don't you help me out? I need somebody to wash cars and run errands and do this and that. And I didn't have a better idea, so I started helping my father. My grandfather was alive at that time. And by the time the summer was over, I discovered that I really liked funeral work. Oh. Believe it or not. Of course, you could say I was born to it. So I jettisoned the idea of becoming a professional artist and/or musician and became a funeral director. And quickly learned that that is more difficult than it looks, like many jobs. But I found it congenial in a way, very rewarding work, helping people. And so I continued for 30-some years until a stroke took me down at age 52. Wow. And I was very fortunate to survive that episode, very lucky. Most people who have the kind of stroke I had, which was an intracranial bleed, I think they called it, wind up as vegetables if they even survive. Wow. So I'm very lucky. And believe me, I am grateful and I recognize that.
I'm sure.
So I had to retire because I could not work.
So
couldn't continue.
In your retirement, what have you enjoyed doing? Do you still?
Well, I went back to my first love. I paint and draw pictures and play the piano. None of them very well, but it doesn't matter at this point.
You enjoy doing it.
You know, it's like washing dishes. You don't have to be good at it. You just have to do it.
That's fair enough. That's totally fair. So how have you kind of gotten involved in the community? What activities and things do you like to get involved in? Actually,
compared to some people, I'm not terribly involved in the community, but I love living here in Chatham. I love the town. And after a lifetime spent in the greater New York metropolitan area, it is so, laid back. Mm. The pace is so much more relaxing. The people here are different. I don't know whether the Cape, by its very nature, attracts a certain kind of person, or whether people change when they come here. Maybe a little bit of both.
So can we talk a little bit about what you're involved with at the COA? I get to see you a lot, which is wonderful.
Well, basically, I just come for cribbage. I love to play cribbage, and there are others at the center who love to play cribbage.
Yeah, you're always looking for other cribbagers, right?
Yep. And it's kind of an addictive game, like others you could name.
I've actually never been able to play and figure it out. I find it a little tough. Is that just my lack of practice?
Well, as card games go, it's not very difficult. I think what throws people off is the little board with the
Yes.
pegs and how do you move those and everything. It's just a way of keeping score.
Okay.
That's all that is.
Gotcha.
In other games, they have a little piece of paper. But in cribbage, you peg on the board. It's just, that's all there is to it.
Fancier way to do it.
And I don't know, it goes quickly. You can play a whole game, in 10 or 15 minutes, unlike chess or other games that could be named Monopoly, which we used to call monotony. And it moves along, and you can play with 2 or 6, or it doesn't matter how many. And it's fun. And very congenial company. And I'm finding out that I call it the senior center. It has a different name.
The Center for Active Living.
That's it, euphemism, yeah. It has so much going on there, so many activities. I'm just really getting familiar with some of them. I was telling somebody just recently, they brought a group of us over here to the fire station on one day and another day to the police station. And I thought, well, this is going to be kind of ho-hum. Well, it wasn't ho-hum. It was fascinating. And I was amazed to find the facilities that are here and the caliber of the personnel and the communication systems and everything really was quite something to see. I had no idea. Not being a criminal, I wasn't familiar with the inside of the police station. And it's okay, I'll keep it that way. But it was nice to get the tour and see how much they are really on top of everything and hooked into, all the regional facilities and the FBI and the whatever we have here, the Secret Service, and my goodness. Don't ever try to commit a crime here in Chatham.
Well, and the fire station was super interesting too. I had never been in that building, and it was in tip-top shape. There was
immaculate.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Really nice to see the quality of the resources that the community has.
For example, I didn't realize that they had facilities that the firemen actually stay there overnight.
Yeah.
I never gave that a thought.
My next question would say, what would you say that your involvement has, or the impact of your involvement with like the Chatham Better Together group and coming and seeing the cribbage group, what would you say
Well, I've met a lot of wonderful people who I would never have met otherwise. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm kind of self-sufficient. I don't have a lot of outside interests beyond painting, and I like to read. I don't read so much anymore since I had some issues with my vision. But I don't know. Some people are active out fishing and hunting and boating and water skiing and that. Great, God bless them. None of that's for me. I'm more sedentary and more, I don't know, reflective.
Yeah.
But I find that the whole atmosphere here is just so conducive. It just fits me like a glove. As far as the center goes, as I said, I've met lots of wonderful people, and I hope to meet a lot more. As time goes by. I've only been active a few months.
I always think back to you and Gail realizing that you guys kind of grew up right around the same space as each other.
That was freaky.
Yeah, that was a wild day.
I was seated for luncheon at a table, and there was a lady there at the other end talking with her friends, and I was talking, And afterwards, she came over and said, I overheard you say Warwick. And is that Warwick, Rhode Island? I said, no, Warwick, New York. And she says, oh, I'm from Warwick, New York. And I said, no way. I lived 14 years in Warwick, New York. Actually, we moved here from Warwick. And she said, well, you probably knew my store. I said, what was that? And she said, a different drummer. I said, oh my goodness. Of course, my daughters went there all the time and bought stuff. And who would think?
I
And
know.
now she's living here in Chatham,
Yep.
like me, and we meet at the senior center.
It was such a small world moment. It was really exciting. You guys were. And I think that your children kind of had mutual friends, or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
your connections just
her
continued.
children knew my daughters in high
Yeah.
school or middle school or whatever it was. I can't remember the details now.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. But you know what, Anna? Maybe you'll experience the same thing. As you get older, you find that the world is much smaller than you think.
Yes.
That old idea of 6 degrees of separation, you know. We would both probably be astonished to know the people that we know who know each other
Yeah. Yeah.
from school or work or whatever,
Yeah,
where you
in
used to
life.
live or down the block or
You
around,
guys were talking
whatever.
restaurants and things like that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what that means, if anything, but I find that the things that divide people are so unimportant, and the things that connect us to other people just mean so much. And as you get older, they mean more and more. They have more meaning, let's put it that way.
Absolutely.
And I look at the news and I see all this strife and anger and hate, and it's all such, so much energy and effort, and it doesn't mean anything. The thing, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's depressing. So I don't watch too much news.
Well, kind of, I mean, like you just kind of said, it as you get older, things kind of matter a little less when you think about negative. How would you say that navigating the aging process has like affected you and what you've learned from it, and how are you enjoying this phase of your life more? What kind of outlook do you have on that?
Well, I'm reminded of something that I think Lincoln made a statement once. He said, people generally are about as happy as they make up their minds that they're going to be. And I think that's true. My dad used to say, life is what you make it.
Okay, fun question.
Let's go.
If you could have an entire day with anyone, but they have to be gone, a historical figure, famous person,
Oh my goodness.
someone like that, who would you pick, what would you do, and why?
Wow. A historical person. Well, so many come to mind that would be fantastic to spend an afternoon with. Mark Twain,
That would be good.
with Lincoln, whom I regard as possibly one of the greatest men that ever lived. Einstein.
What would you do with them?
Talk. Pick their brains.
Make them pumpkin muffins? Or morning glories, which are my favorite, that Carl is excellent at making.
Oh, shucks. It's just a matter of following the recipe and having the will to take the time and just do it.
Sure.
But I've got time now.
Yeah.
I've got lots of time. And I'm
Baking
trying.
with Einstein sounds like an interesting afternoon.
Well, it certainly would be.
Yeah.
Certainly would be. I am continually amazed at the way things turn out. The unlikely things that you would say, oh, that'll never happen. Oh, yeah? Wait. The most unlikely, or I think it was Elon Musk just said, the most ironic thing is what exactly will happen. I would use the word the most unlikely thing. And all you have to do is say, oh, that will never happen. Wait. I can almost guarantee you, if you wait long enough, it'll happen.
Fair enough.
The Titanic sinks. Hugh Hefner gets married. A lot of people don't even know who Hugh Hefner was, probably anymore. But this is life, and go with it or be dragged,
Fair enough.
right?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
A pleasure,
I appreciate your time.
a pleasure.
Oh, thanks, Carl.